internship is a must in this particular field, because what you learn in the academia is theory, and what you work in the actual environment is totally different, whether it comes to tools, whether it comes to technologies. Even technologies in the books may be a bit old, because here technologies change every 6 months.
Morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. Welcome aboard to Hacker Harbor podcast, where we are on a mission to make cybersecurity learning easy with a blend of experience. You are listening to Cybersecurity Beyond Pentesting, episode 2, featuring Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Santosh Khadsare. I'm Yash Gorasya, your host and captain for today's episode. Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Santosh Khadsare is a seasoned professor with 2 decades of experience working in both public and private sector. He is a speaker, author, and a mentor for all DFIR enthusiasts. He is currently serving as a Vice President, Digital Forensics and Incident Response at eSec Forte Technologies. Just for the fact that he has been my mentor for a while, and I know sir since 2020.
Yes.
And sir, you were the inspiration for me why I started writing, started getting into digital forensics and started writing blogs about digital forensics. I would personally wanted to thank you for joining here and featuring in episode 2 of Hacker Harbor podcast, Cybersecurity Beyond Pen Testing.
Thank you. It's my honor.
So, sir, now we would love to hear for the initial audience that what was your motive back in 2000 to be starting into the field like cybersecurity or digital forensics, wherein there were other options available for you.
Okay. Firstly, yes, thanks a lot. It's wonderful to see you at such a big platform. I seeing you, it remembers me of a very good phrase or a proverb by Archimedes, who was a Greek philosopher, mathematician, engineer, and a scientist. He said, "Give me a place to stand, and I will move the world." So this is what I see of you, and it's really wonderful to see you at this platform. The
Thank you.
question, the yeah, thanks. The question which you asked was way back in the last century, in 1999, when I finished my engineering and I wanted to enter the IT field at that time, and also wanted to join the defense forces. So it was a both combination of my likes which I wanted to pursue. So I joined the Indian Army way back in 1999, and I joined the Indian Army's Corps of Signals, which is the technical arm which deals with IT, cybersecurity, communications. And since then, I've been pursuing this field. I got the opportunity within the defense forces to pursue my cybersecurity, and within cybersecurity field to pursue my passion towards digital forensics. And for 22 and a half years, till when I was in the army, I pursued this field with vigor and passion. I also got the opportunity during that time to head the forensic laboratory for the defense forces, that is the Indian Army, and also opportunity to be head of digital forensic lab for CERT India, Ministry of Electronics and IT, which I was there for 2.5 years. And during that period, I also got the inspiration, motivation to start lot of initiatives related to this particular field, so that I can motivate, I can mentor, and I can get few bright minds in this field and take this field to a next level in this country. So that is a short, you can say, my journey towards this particular field over the last 2.5 decades, that is 25 years. And here I am speaking with you today.
Sir, it is very good to hear about you pursuing both the things, serving the nation, serving a particular, likes you, loved being in a forensics and being able to serve the nation through armed forces. So, what was, now that you are working into corporate, so what is your experience, differentiating both the things, working into the public sector, now that coming into the, this corporate setup?
So both are equally important, but I would always give first preference to the government or the defense sector, which actually brought me into this field. It gave me the opportunity to work on live cases, very important cases, cases of national security, cases dealing with, high tech kind of crimes. So there is where I got the exposure, experience to be what I am today. It also taught me to be a disciplined professional in this field. So within the forces for 22 and a half years, I learned this profession. I'll call it a very niche skill set, which helped me to be where I am in the corporate sector now. In the corporate sector, it's again a total different ball game in such, but again you are contributing towards the nation building. In corporates, also a lot of cyber incidents happen, cyber crimes happen. There are a lot of opportunities to do a lot of things. Like in present day scenario, I'm working on a lot of make in India indigenous development, product development. I have launched a lot of hardware like drona series you must have heard of. So we
Yes.
make, yes, so we make, so that was not possible in the being in the government. So both the places, they have advantages. I'll not say that I didn't find any disadvantages as such, but only advantages in both the places. And outside in the corporate, I'm free to mentor people. I'm free to do a lot of research and development. It's not that research and development doesn't happen there inside; it happens there also. But here you have more space to maneuver and do what you feel like in this field. So that's the difference. But as I said that being in the government or the defense was more, more experience based, more enlightening, more learning that was there.
Yeah, so moving on to the very important question of this particular, I particular consider, because uh, a beginner starting into the field hardly knows about forensics or something. So, what do you mean? What's your understanding of we call a topic to this particular, you know, uh, s- segment we are doing? What do you mean by cybersecurity beyond pen testing?
Yes, now cybersecurity is an umbrella, right? There are many more verticals within that cybersecurity umbrella. One is pen testing, one you can say audit, one you can have research, one you can have uh, forensics, incident response. So cybersecurity is an umbrella, and within that umbrella, there are a lot of, you can say, professionals or professional verticals which you can subscribe to. So within that, digital forensics is a very niche field. And as you said, ki, how do you explain it? Let me tell you, I go for speaking to a lot of events. I do online events. I interact with students. I interact with professionals. But very few understand what is digital forensics as such, because they mix it with audit, they mix it with cybersecurity. Yes, it's a part of cybersecurity. I do agree to that. Means, as I said, it's under that umbrella of cybersecurity. But digital forensics in layman terms is to produce a digital evidence that can be produced in the courts. So that court can accept that, and on the basis of your analysis, investigations, the court can decide whether that particular person, individual, is right or wrong, and then give him the right kind of, you can say, punishment, so-called punishment. So digital forensics is a mostly a techno-legal field. So here technology is also involved, and legal aspect is also involved. And here one more important thing is there is a lot of accountability, because accountability is there because you are on basis of your analysis, someone is going to be, analyzed, or someone is going to be put to task. So here accuracy, credibility, and legal sanctity is very important. So in forensics is different from other, cybersecurity fields, because here you are more responsibility and accountability is more towards you. and you cannot go wrong. That's what it is.
Yeah, so I still remember my time as an intern at forensic laboratory. So I was going through that procedures, policies, and then what method was chain of custody that has been followed. So it is a very important term when it comes to digital forensics. So yeah, I think people need to know about it. And I was fortunate enough to attend few of your sessions wherein you explained importance of being into the academia and having the right mentor. So what is your thought process on as a beginner, uh, what should I look in a mentor before deciding upon, because I have seen several people posting about digital forensics and several things, but when we actually ask them about in detail, that they are not the one able to explain things easily.
Yes. So before answering that question, I always quote two of my statements. When I say you should have passion and patience if you have to come into this field. I always say that. And second thing which I say is internship and mentorship are very important in this field. So you mentioned about mentors. As per me, mentor is a person or is a person who guides you towards your goal. He's not a person who imposes goals on you. Means as a mentor, I should guide you where you want to go, not tell you what I want you to do. So that is the way mentorship goes around. Secondly, selecting a mentor is very important because you are going to fall back to him in case of in case of professional kind of work or professional kind of guidance. So you should select a person who has that much experience, maturity, and you can say knowledge about that particular subject. And especially in digital forensics and in a country like India as such, there are very few people who are actually in this field for long years, like 20 years or 25 years. So mentors can be anyone, but at least you should be able to get right guidance, and so you should be able to hook on or home on to a person who can actually guide you through in your ups and downs, especially in your professional career.
Yeah, I agree to that, sir, because that there are sometimes I see people falling in the trap of internships, and they might be end up paying for it, whereas we as a beginner should be the one wanting to learn new things. And there is nothing as a such where we need to pay as a person. So what's your thought on uh, this several institutions are asking for come join with us and pay us x amount of money, and that we will make you expert into forensics or experts into the field of cybersecurity.
Okay, firstly, let me tell you, knowledge cannot be bought, right? You cannot buy knowledge. There are many kinds of internships. I don't prefer that kind of internship which you mentioned. I never ask my interns to pay me when they are learning, but vice versa, I don't pay them also because it's a learning process. So if you are getting knowledge from someone, if you are getting that hands-on experience, so nor do I prefer that they should be charged, but I also prefer they should not be paid also that during that duration because they are learning. After that, yes, of course, when they get the particular skill, they can mean they are open for getting absorbed within that particular organization. So that kind of internship, I would recommend that people should not subscribe to the paid kind of internship. And there's a third kind also where people want to people want to do some kind of a hybrid mode kind of a internship. So you should go to a person or subscribe to a person or an organization where you will learn things, because earning can follow later. Earning is going to be for your lifetime, but that 3 or 6 months is our learning time. So it's like it's like a Ekalavya kind of and Dronacharya kind of environment. So you should find your Dronacharya, and whatever time he can give or he or she can give, you should make maximum out of it, and you should go ahead with that kind of learning. And but internship is a must in this particular field, because what you learn in the academia is theory, and what you work in the actual environment is totally different, whether it comes to tools, whether it comes to technologies. Even technologies in the books may be a bit old, because here technologies change every 6 months. So internship becomes a very important aspect, and you should go in for internships where you feel that you will be learning, and not for the sake of only getting a certificate or a completion letter. So many of them want this nowadays. So not all, but by the way, there are a lot of serious students. I'll say most of them are serious. They are who want to work in this particular field.
Yeah, sir. I feel that gain what I was studying into forensics in the books and from the articles was different from what I got to experience at being at the forensic lab. So you often say about digital forensics and academia interchangeably have an important. So what are the roles that as a beginner can look for, and why as a beginner can someone choose to be into the forensics field? What's your views on that?
Academia, whether it's industry, academia, law enforcement, everyone are intermingled, means they interact with each other. And the foundation of any professional career start with academia. So, firstly, having the right people to teach and right students to learn and right facilities to actually improve your skills is a very must in the academia, which I find it lacking in most of the places. Either you don't have the right people to teach or qualified people to teach, or you don't have the infrastructure in place. But yes, things are changing now. And the third thing, in such fields in corporate, like, you can't work on open source environment in the real time scenario, whereas in academia infrastructure may not be there, so you may be taught on open source kind of environment. So all this, that's why that I said internship is important, because in that duration you learn the commercial aspect of it. So academia plays a very important role. It is the, you can say, a foundation or base for any career, and so is for digital forensics or cyber security. And a lot of institutions, I find that syllabuses are also outdated. I whenever I interact with any institution, I try to see their curriculum, and I try to tell them, ki, amend your curriculum or make it more kind of a skill based curriculum rather than a theoretical curriculum, which is, I'll not say outdated, but which has much more, you can say much more than that. You can't be teaching people about only, like, computer forensics or imaging as such. Now with the term, you have to teach people about proactive, predictive kind of a forensics, where you have to teach them about, you can say, automotive forensics, IoT forensics, cloud, network. So this is, you have to keep on, and you can't blame the academia, because as I said, technology changes very fast. But at least there should be a scope where you are not far away from the latest trends within this field, from the latest kind of, you can say, the tools which are available in the market, and latest kind of crimes which are happening, which need solutions. So academia plays a very important role, and they should be on their toes. And I think they should revise their curriculum at least twice, after 2 years at least. It deserves. It should be 1 year according to me, but if not, at least in a 2 years they should be revising the curriculum, especially in the cyber security fields. Any of the fields within the cyber security, you can say umbrella as such.
Yes, sir. So I think still those institutions need to pay the attention to what is being taught is practical based or it is just a theoretical one. So I agree to that. And going to that, why should a person, what's your views on why should one be choosing a forensics as a career option? Because we see that there are job openings for security analysts everywhere, but when you see a niche focused forensic field which is still growing into the grown market, so what's your suggestions, guidance for them?
See, forensics is a very niche field, and the latest, you can say, stream in digital in the forensic science. It is only 30-35 years old. Other forensic fields are older, 100 years as such, because internet, computers, the boom started in late 90s, and then this particular field actually caught up. as you rightly brought out, it's a very niche field and very few people are there. And now, but let me tell you, nowadays, lot of people are joining this. Professionals are joining this stream. I'll just give you a simple analogy of 2024 and 2030, 34 as such. As on date present, the digital forensic market is around $10 billion US dollars. It is predicted that by 2034 it will be around 30 to, it I mean, there are various research, they say the 30 to 40 billion dollars. So it is going to rise at least 2.5 to 3 times. This is going to rise. And in the CAGR, what we call is the compound annual growth rate. Means suppose if I have 100 rupees today, so next year it is going to, if I make 10% profit, it will be 110, and the next year it will be 10% on 110. So the CAGR rate of forensic market globally, it is predicted much higher than other fields. It is around 10 to 15%. Different surveys say that. And in India, the APAC region is going to grow at a much more higher rate, and it is going to be around 15 to 18%, which is much more than the global CAGR or the growth rate in this particular field. So this field is on an exponential growth because there are a lot of things which are involved. It's not only about tools, it's not only about other things, but if you see incident response, cyber incident tackling, the number of incident increasing will give a catalyst, will be catalyst to this kind of field. Means it will give a boost to this kind of field. Plus, if you see the digital assets increasing, number of people using the digital assets, number of technologies coming into. So all these factors, the technologies, the rise in assets, the rise in crimes, this is going to give a boost to this field, and you'll see that whatever the predictions are in this field, it will grow in double digits in the coming years, at least in the coming 10 years. So this is a space to be if you have to be. But again, there's a caveat or there's a rider. You have to have the proper skill set. You cannot just say, okay, I'm a forensic expert, and you will expect that. So you should have that proper skill set before entering this field. But there's a lot of, you can say, prospects in this field at least for the next 10 to 15 years. That is what the prediction is, for which I see or which I read on a regular basis.
Yeah, sir. So expert thing is, you should be able to explain that to the law enforcement and judge. If you are not expert, you won't be able to explain the evidence to that. So you need to be have that in you. And I think, with some buzzing words like AI and blockchain and things coming into the market, what do you see? You said it is going to be exponentially growing, but alongside, we as an people who are into the field or who are already there as an experts like you, who are there in the field since last 20-25 years. So what's your views on people upgrading themselves to this buzzing things? Because uh, blockchain, cases around cryptocurrency frauds or cases around that are coming in now. So being in forensics, one should be aware about how it is being done. So, what do you think? How are we prepared for those kind of things?
Okay, first let me tell you that in this field, specialization is better than generalization. You have to be a specialist in this field, right? And secondly, with the technologies coming like AI, ML, you mentioned blockchain and all coming in. So integration of forensics with artificial intelligence and machine learning is happening, and it's a must. It's the future of forensics. Now AI will be a problem and will be a solution also. It will create problems also, and it will give you the solutions also. In forensics, AI will be used for deepfakes, but same AI tools will be used for detection of deepfakes also. So it's a part of a problem and a part of a solution. So how you use it, that is very important. Other technologies also are coming up, but let me tell you here that this field is a very tricky field. As I said, you require the skill set, you require the knowledge, but the success rate in doing the cases is not that high. Means the success rates, you will not succeed in every case which comes to you because of the technologies, encryptions, different kinds of assets, compatibilities. So this is there. So you always running against the wall and trying to find solutions. So as you mentioned, AI, yeah, it is there. It will be for good also, and it will pose a very big problem for the forensic analysts also in this field. So we have to gear up to this. So let's and the people are working on this field. You mentioned about blockchain also. Blockchain, like, is a very important technology which can be used in chain of custody, so that there's no you can say no one can actually try to interfere with the evidences. So this is a very good concept of integrating chain a blockchain with chain of custody as such. Similarly, as I gave AI with the forensic tools. So these all things solutions can be made, but even the cases will come related to IoT and related to robotics and other things. So we should be ready for such kind of such a situation in the near future. Already we are in it. We are already into it. We have to tackle it now.
Yes, sir. So I think we would be working towards it in the future. We are working developing things. So you mentioned about your experience at certain. So what do you think certain, or for that matter a cert, plays a role in nation building, wherein where digitalization is at the booming high, where people are everywhere using mobile phones. Every crime scene has at least a mobile phone or some digital devices. So what do you think cert plays a role in it?
CERT is Computer Emergency Response Team, and it is responsible for keeping the digital space of the country safe. And Indian CERT is very proactive and doing a lot of tasks in this particular field. For example, it is very proactive in the sense that it has already tied up with lot of you can say security solutions. For example, mobile security solutions, and they give you free of that code. They also alert you if your systems are compromised or mobiles are compromised. They have a coordination with the ISPs. So CERT is doing a wonderful job, and in turn, it is also connected with the other certs, that is the certs globally and internal certs, whether it's the FinCert or other kind of certs which are there internally. So my tenure at certain was very, as whether I say, learning tenure, and they are doing their job. Yes, but India is a very huge country, as you know, and it takes time, and it will. It will be a continuous efforts which people government is putting, and they are doing a wonderful job. Let me tell you that they are doing a wonderful job. But yes, as I said, we have to go a long way, and things are happening and being put in place.
Mm, yeah, okay, sir. So that was, I think, I got to know that there is particular different cert for fintech, other aspects of it. I was not aware of it before you mentioned it. So that there is a lot of questions and discussions going around make in India and making indigenous products. We have I particularly have my hands on several forensics tools that were not made in India, and I somewhere felt they were charging huge money for it, providing the solutions. Uh, so you are already working on an indigenous product called Drona. So please explain us what it is, and how important it is to change the next generation of forensics, digital forensics practices.
You rightly mentioned, in my 24 years of government service, I realized that the tools are a bit expensive, and we are paying a lot of money. So when I came out, I thought, why not make products which are indigenous in nature and less costly and same efficiency or better efficiency the tools are which are there in the market. So I means my company eSec Forte, we started making Drona series of products in which we have Drona forensic workstations which cost at least one third of the cost of the other products with the same specification and same efficiency. Then we launched Drona Faraday bags. We launched Drona incident response kits. We launched Drona lab station. We launched Drona kits. So around 6 to 7 products we launched within the span of 1.5 years. Similar is the case. So these are all products related to forensics, where forensic which are required in the forensic lab, and they are much cheaper than the other products, because other products which you import, of course, there are a lot of taxes and costs which are put on that. So that's one aspect to it. Secondly, what I realize is the maintenance part. If a product got faulty, it used to take months for repair. So once you have a local product or a make in India product, then people or the time required for someone to rectify also is very less. Within 24 hours, 48 hours, you get the solutions to those kinds of products. The third part is that if everyone can make, why not we? Means India is such a company, such a country with such talented minds who are doing so well abroad. So these things and the government initiative of Atmanirbhar Bharat and other things helped us, to help people like me to take such initiative forward. There are many such initiatives being forward, not in the field of cybersecurity, but other fields also, technology fields, where MII solutions are coming into the market. Yes, they are competing with the other solutions which are present there, and we have to be at par with them. So it will take time, let me tell you that, but we will be able to, and we will surely produce products which are at par to those products which are globally present everywhere. So MII or Make in India is a very good initiative, and it is especially good for people like who are graduating out, who want to do the startup kind of environment of business. So it is a it's a very good ecosystem. So I think people should look into this and try to contribute toward this particular initiative.
So we talked about forensics as in what's its presence in India, how important it is, and how growing it is. So you have been to other conferences, globally also, and you might be interacting with the people out there in the other countries. So what is the level of forensics out there? Because again, when we see the aspects of it, it is more of an very public sector focus, but it does have an importance in corporate also, because organizations are getting victims of breaches and other cyber incidents. So how important it is on the perspective of globalization.
See, let me tell you that, especially in this field, we are at par, or I'll say better than others, in terms of skilled manpower, analytical skills, or communication skills, or technical aptitude as such. So be rest assured that we also do such cases which others can't do, or are which are at the, you can say, the most technical edge, cutting cases. Yes, regarding infrastructure, we are a bit behind because it's a huge country. For example, if you go to labs, there are a lot of pendencies because thousands and lakhs of cases comes for investigations. So that you have to cope up with that. But if you ask me regarding, if you ask me, okay, how good or bad we are as compared to others, I'll say we are good, and we are in fact sometimes better in some field. But there are the other aspect to it, being a country and being other aspect to it, like lack of infrastructure. If this builds up, we will be one of the leaders in the near future in this particular field.
Yeah, sir. Still, there are, as we discussed, there are not much people interested to go into the field, but they are coming up. So, the more the manpower, the better it would be, the better infrastructure it will be. And with that, we are working in a very challenging field. It comes with challenges every morning. We go to offices, there are something or some other things that has been come up, and to cope up with that, one has to be mentally at par, to keep up with our mental health. So what's your views on importance of mental health, be it public sector, be it private sector, with the people working into the cybersecurity field, and particularly forensics.
See, let me tell you, you require a work-life balance. Like, if you work for 5 days, two days, you should have time for yourself for recreation. At least I find time for myself. I go to my farms, I do farming, I go trekking, I go outside. I try to spend time for myself. Everyone should do that because it affects you, it affects your work, it affects your efficiency. So this is a must. If you see in corporates, every corporates have leisure spaces where you can just go and play around, sit around, have a coffee, talk, and then come back and work. So even the corporates are trying to inculcate this kind of environment. uh, it's there. So work-life balance is very important. But although these facilities are given, few youngsters don't make use of it because they think that time is running out for them. Let me tell you, if you don't strike a work-life balance now, then it will be very difficult. So it's better, you should not have short term goals. Think long. Think, if you are more, you can say, skilled, or if you keep yourself fit and keep yourself active, then you'll be for a longer run in this field. Otherwise, within a short time, you'll exhaust, you'll burn out. So you should have a work balanced life. And you should, I'll not say means only be enjoying life, but you should have some time for yourself, for your family. It is very important.
So, talking about that, youngsters are sometimes being victim of what we call imposter syndrome. So they tend to think XYZ is was studying with me now. He's or she is at that level. I should be there. Everyone has different pace of learning things, to grab skills and everything. So. What's your suggestion on how about them speaking about it?
I will ask you a counter question here. See, did you compare yourself with others? You took a different field, right? You're doing something different. Okay, that's why you are here. Similarly, you should not compare yourself with your peers, because you can never compare yourself with anyone. You should compare yourself with yourself. What I can do better, what are I you should carry a SWOT analysis. We call strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, and what is my strength. I should work on my strength. Like, my strength is digital forensics, so I work in this field of digital forensic. My strength is that, now I can give some, I can do some research, so I work in this field. So never compare yourself. Yes, you should know you want to become a particular thing, but I cannot compare, or you cannot compare with me. I say today I want to start my podcast series. So I'll not say, yeah, Yash started the podcast series, so I will also now start my podcast series tomorrow, and he is so many lakhs of followers, so I also want to within one day lakhs of followers. Similarly, professional also, if I'm here because of my 25 years of experience, no one can say you will require those 25 years to reach here, right? And you can reach it in next 10 years also. If you take a different line of approach, you'll be better than me. So approach should you should know the goal, but approaches can be different. That's why we tell in this, if you want a task to be done, tell a person what to do, not how to do it. So similarly, you should imply to yourself, you should know what to do. How to do it, you decide yourself. Don't compare yourself. In fact, if you compare yourself, you'll always be following someone. If you do yourself, some people will follow you. So you should be a leader. So you should lead from the front. So that is what I feel youngsters should be doing.
Yeah, sir. So that is, basic lessons that are being taught in to the people that when they join the Indian Military Academy or armed forces. So that, I think, that is the basic lesson, and I have somewhere been part of that curriculum things. So I know that is being taught. Ki, go wake up in morning, be disciplined first. Everything will fall apart after that. So I think, but still that there are concerns wherein people don't feel to speak up about their mental health issues. They somehow feel that presenting themselves, having one or the other mental health issues will present them as in weak, or someone who is not skilled or something. So rather than approaching to the professionals for their guidance and for their or a doctor for that matter to help, that they somehow keep it to themselves and not take actions on that. So do you suggest, as in being at a leadership position, to your people to go out, take some time off when they're feeling low?
See, if a person is feeling low, what my experience tells me that you should go and speak out your heart to a person who is very close to you. And even in the corporate sector, or wherever in the government, or wherever at a leadership role, if someone comes to you, you should listen to him. Even if you cannot help him, it's okay. Even if you listen to him, half of the problem gets solved. And you can guide him. And if you are in a position where you can guide him to do things like go and take some assistance from someone, you should very well give that particular guidance or support to him and or her for that matter. It's like that. See, if you are able to, firstly, you should open up. You should speak your heart out, not keep your things in your heart. It will actually make you feel more low. And as a leader, you should hear everyone out, and you should, even if you cannot address all the issues, at least hear him out patiently. It will actually put the person to rest. And if any assistance required, that we should guide the person to go to a particular person where he can resolve his particular issues. So these things are honorized because yes, technology also has a role to play. People are work on mobile, as you rightly brought. They're comparing themselves. You're fighting against technology also now. If you want to write a program, also Chat GPT will write a better program and give it to you. Then your job is at stake. So jobs are getting, those kinds of jobs also diminishing because this kind of pressure. So that's why in such kind of, if this is a problem, it's better you reskill yourself. You can learn unlearn kind of environment. So if you say, if I'm a programmer and if I know it's much, but I know कि I'm a cyber security professional, so instead of programming I will go into some other field within cyber security. So relearning, so guidance is very important. I just gave you an example in this matter, but I'm just saying that you should, in this field, always you should be reskilling yourself or relearning yourself and trying to see because this is going to change. It's a very dynamic field, and this is going to put a pressure. This is going to make you feel low, uh, but there's a lot of scope. You should be positive about that, and you should be speaking. You should be mingling with friends, telling them if you have any issue. So that's what I feel about it.
Yes, sir. I feel similarly. If you have something, go speak out and see consequences of it, no matter how things are going. And with that, just a last question: what would you be telling yourself going down 20 years? What guidance would you have been given to yourself apart from what you are at position now?
See, 20 years down the lane, I should be able to have a peaceful sleep. I have my contribution towards my nation, society, towards myself, towards my family. Should be, I'll not say 100%, but at least I should feel that I've given it a try to make things better for people, make things better. Now I'm in a position where I can mentor people. I'm in a field where I can support people. So I should not feel that I have not contributed towards this particular field or society or nation in the matter. So I feel that 20 years down the lane, I know I'll be doing the same things till my last breath. That's for sure. But I'm trying to make it sure now when I have the opportunity that I answer this question now rather than answering it 20 years down the lane.
Okay, so sir, that was a very great conversations about forensics and mental health and everything around it, and we covered a lot of things. Thank you for joining in, and if you are a listener and wanting to get into the field of forensics, I would without time recommend sir as a person to look for, because I personally have gone through that journey and being able to start into the forensics. For the fact I am not into that field at present, but I see myself getting into that field again, because forensics have been always fascinating me. So, thank you, sir, for joining, and to all the people. See you in the next episode of Cybersecurity Beyond Pen Testing. Have a good day.
Thank you, Yash. Thanks a lot for inviting me. It was a pleasure interacting with you. I wish all your listeners all the best. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.